Here we go. I'm about a mile and a half in. It's early. It's early in the morning. It's not even 7 yet. I don't think. See a lot of people out here more than usual. I guess it's just that I guess that it's cooler. I don't want to be out here in the dark. I don't think that would be cool. I don't think that would be right for a black cat to be walking around in the dark. I know there'll be a lot of people out here before the sun come up. That's the safest time as far as health-wise. Look over here. There's the ABC. There's the ABC Channel 15 truck over here, Arizona. Taking action, it says on the side. It's a van. Well, it's a truck with cameras and stuff. So they're probably going to be doing some kind of back to school interviews or something. See? A truck in the background. I'm always walking and talking. You can see it better from here. I'm always walking and talking. I'll be putting the camera up too fast. I noticed that. They got a news lady behind the truck. There's a news lady behind the truck. If she's a news lady, she might be representing the school district. She's dressing all black. You see how it's I'm gonna tell you before. Now see how the sun is shining here? There's the sun, right? Now, look over here. There's the moon. Right there. At the same time. The moon, the sun. The moon, the sun. And I talk to people about subtle things like that. They're not even trying to figure it out. They be baffled. Because what happened is cognitive dissonance kicks in. And they know, just like I know, from what they taught you or taught us, is that when the sun is on this side of the world, of the so-called ball earth, the moon is dark on the other side. It's something as if you would if you would shine a flashlight on the ball, it's going to be shiny on this side of the ball and dark on the other side. But that's the furthest thing from the truth. It's nothing like that. Because if that was true, how am I looking at the moon right here and the sun right here behind me? The sun's right here behind me. And then you got the moon right there. How can that be if what they're teaching you in school is true? So then that would mean, in plain, simple logic, common, natural, let's say natural sense, is that, I have to tell you that it's a lie, is that is a lie. And to make it even more of a lie, is those 2 eclipses that we get a year. You know why all that is? That's because those things are moving. Those things are moving. We're not moving. Those things are moving. That's why. Use common sense. It's so hard. You could brainwash anybody to think any fucking thing. You could brainwash a motherfucker and have him barking like a dog the rest of his life. He could believe he's a dog. That's how you can rewire somebody's brain. Make them do anything. Make them think anything. Make them believe anything. Just like I said before, belief is not truth. Belief ain't truth. Oh, I was trying to tell y'all before. If that was true, then that wouldn't. Yeah, because if that was true, the moon and the sun wouldn't be at the same time. Yeah, that's that Asian guy again. You can see he's a strong motherfucker. Looks like you can see every muscle in that motherfucker's body. He ain't got no fat on him, hardly. He has minimal fat on him. Everybody has a certain amount. Yeah, I see him. He works up at one of those buildings over there. He's always on the move, that guy. Even when he's working, he was doing some kind of work in the yard work in one of those, like he's a maintenance man or something. But he has to be doing something else. Unless he's just trying to stay in shape or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, people can make you believe anything. The same way like how you can make your kids believe anything when they're growing up. You can tell them anything, and this is what these people be doing. They be abusing that privilege to home train their kids. And they home train, they know the kids are young. And even if they don't know, you ought to know in general if you do bad things around kids or stuff that doesn't comply with society that you're living in, that person is more likely going to get in trouble. Sooner or later, it's going to have trouble. Legal trouble. Domestic trouble. Trouble in school with his peers, everything. Because that person is going to be thinking that what he was taught is the right thing in the society. Because I think that the only thing that comes when it's either right or wrong is when you're in certain situations. Certain things can be right or wrong. Like when you take a test. Okay? That's a certain situation. You got some answers are going to be right and some answers are going to be wrong. Unless you get them all right or unless you get them all wrong. In those kind of conditions, yeah. But just in general, what people do, you're wrong if you don't comply with the society or the rules of the team or the rules of the game. You're wrong. And that goes from tribe to tribe. So, that goes from tribe to tribe. Group to group. Yeah, I see a lot of people on my way. You got 1, 2, 3, you got three. You got 3 people. I be seeing this guy here. He always is on the move. That guy said, what's up to? Yeah, he always on the move. It's a little man. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to mix in with these people, because I'm not gonna go the opposite direction. That'll make me do 6 and 7 miles. I'm not doing that today. I'm doing 5. I be seeing that dude, not this one here, but the one that just ran past. I said, so he's up there. You see him? He's still going right here in front. He got black. He's on the other side of the street. I see him down there, like 2 miles from here. I see him. He still be running. He goes down by the firehouses on the right-hand side, about a mile down. And then he makes a right. And he goes all the way down to like Chandler, which is another half a mile. And then he backs it up. Then he turns it back around and comes back the other way. Comes back this way. He goes all the way down to Chandler, and then he turns it back around that way. This dude here got a half-ass pace. He's tired. I'll catch him. I'm still going strong. Ate a lot of, I don't eat potatoes really that much. They make me heavy real fast. So does bread. But it keeps size on me. Because if I didn't eat potatoes and bread, I'd probably be about, if I didn't eat bread, I bought like a 5-pound bag of potatoes. Because I bought some hash brown, you know, the ones be like in McDonald's, I guess you could say. The little rectangular hash browns. That got the good smell. That shit ain't nothing but fucking perfume. People don't be realizing that good smell you be smelling on. Besides, you know, a lot of these herbs and spices be enhanced with chemically. Okay, if you're not picking it and doing it yourself, you don't know what's inside of those things. You see that smell that French fries has, like at McDonald's, or the hash browns. And yeah, that shit is made to trickle off your senses. Yeah, it's made to trickle off your senses. So was the chemicals in there. So was the chemicals in there. So was the chemicals in there. I'm out here, she got me out like a flag man. That flag man shit just comes back automatically. Yeah, you got these different tastes. They trick you. They make this shit in the lab. Now those things they make in the lab, it still comes from the earth. They're just altering chemicals to make those fries smell the way they smell. What do you think? It smell like that coming out of the ground? No, it don't. Because it ain't the oil. Because if you boil the oil, you ain't gonna smell it. Smell that smell. It's in the seasoning that they put inside that stuff. And you'll be saying, what's that seasoning? It ain't no seasoning. It's chemicals that makes those, you can smell those fries from a block away. Those are chemicals. The same people that makes coloring is all fake. All that shit is fake. Coloring. Give it a nice coloring. It's all shit's all fake. The smell, even the taste. And what it does, it tricks the body into wanting more. It tricks the body into wanting more. It's all a trick. It tricks your body into wanting more. So you smell those fries, that's all, that shit is all chemically, that shit's all chemically mixed together with the food. Then when there's other stuff in there that makes you want more. There's other stuff in there that makes you crave for it. They mess your olfactory, which is your smell. It messes with your sense of smell. It makes your dopamine run. It makes your pleasure centers activate when you smell that kind of stuff. They know exactly what they're doing, man. Come on. Why do you think that is? That is to make you want to make you want it. That's to make you want it. Like any other drug. That's like the way they do meat. Meat's the same way. They put coloring in meat because we see what it really looks like after it bleeds out. After you bleed something out, it don't look the same. After all the blood run out. Actually, you really ain't trying to get, you really don't want the blood. You don't know what's in that blood. What's in the blood is the shit they be feeding the animal. That's why you kosher, make kosher, get kosher meat, is all bled out. And trust me, it's not red looking like that stuff. It's like when you put out steak or like chopped meat in your refrigerator. And you come back a few days later and the blood is all settled in the bottom of the bowl. Settled in the bottom of the bowl. You see what the chopped meat on the top looks like? You'd be like, ugh. But when it cooks, it's gonna cook basically the same. Doesn't have to be that well done because it's already bled out. You're making it well done so you can bleed it, cook the blood out of it. But if you could do that yourself, you get that shit from the store, you just let it sit in a strainer or something inside the refrigerator and all that blood will drip out. You don't know what's in those animals' blood. You don't even know what's in your own blood. How you gonna eat some fucking animal blood? You gotta be fucking crazy. They be shooting those animals with all kind of shit. And that's a fact. They shoot an animal with all kind of antibiotics and all the kind of stuff because they be living in filth. Like I told my daughter, that's like a pig. A pig is a filthy animal. If you sat and watch what a pig does, I don't think you would eat no fucking pork. I don't eat no fucking pork. That's a filthy animal. It lays and roots in its own shit and piss. And its friends shit and piss. It eats its friends shit and piss. And it rolls all in it and lays in it. And you could throw that pig anything, it'll eat it. It's a weird animal. It's weird looking. And you look in all books of ancient wisdom, it'll tell you, don't mess with that thing. Leave that thing alone. Yeah, because that thing is disgusting. I would think that when they farm it, when they raise it on farms and stuff like that, I would think that it's a little more, well, they want you to think that it's a little more controlled, like what they feed it and stuff like that. I would think so. Instead of it just running around in a wild, just eating anything. like wild boars. A boar is a pig. A boar is a tough animal that's been around a while. Yeah, a boar has been around a while. A wild boar. Yeah, they have been around. People think that humans been here for so long. No, the animals were here before us. All of that stuff was here before us. We're the new kids on the block, human beings. Everything else has been here already. Just like it tells us, there's nothing new under the sun. That means that there's nothing new. This is all ancient stuff. It is. It's all ancient stuff. We're the newest species on the planet. Everything else has been here. And it doesn't matter how they try to tell the story. Religious-wise, religiously, mystics, or scientifically. No matter how you look at it. But the truth is that nobody really knows. You just think we know things. It's like creation is like an ongoing process. It's not like you just create it and that's that. Creation is an ongoing thing. You know, every millisecond you're on this planet, or microsecond, however you want to look at it, it's always processing. You know? And people just keep thinking that it's a done thing. If you look at it the way the school teaches you, people look at it like it's a done thing. Creation is not a done thing. Just like you. You're not a done thing. Cells are always dying and cells are always reproducing. You know, you're eating, all your cells are dying and reproducing. And they excrete stuff. They excrete things, waste. Like any other animal. Good morning. Yeah, they excrete waste. And they feed too. You're feeding everything you eat. You're feeding every cell in your body. It's an ongoing process. Stuff is being born and stuff is dying. This guy, he cut across the field. He didn't even walk the long way. Now he's going to get in my way. I gotta get in front of him. He's stopping. He sees me out the corner of his eye. He's going to walk a square block. He's not going to, he's not a long one. I saw where he started from. He's taking his time. I'm still at a pretty good clip. Here's where it gets hard. What we got here, we got two people coming. No, one's coming and one's going. Yeah, this is gonna be sun in the face. Face that's facing the sun straight on. Gonna have to take this bandana off and get some air. That's all. That cools you down a lot instead of locking in the heat. Once the heat locks in, you're done. That's how that goes. Good morning. This guy turns around here. He's coming back. He turned around like he dropped something. He came up with some kind of idea. He looks like a runner, the way he's shaped. Skinny too. Good morning. Yeah, I know who he is. He's a runner. The last couple of times I've seen him, he wasn't running. You always could tell those guys that some of them come out here, they just walk. They say, well, I'm not running today, I'm walking today. Let's take off the bandana, see what we got. Not much. Not even nothing to really, I ain't squeezing. Let's see. He came back over here for some reason. Let's see what he's looking for. It's hardly nothing came out of that bandana. That's what I like. I felt it dripping down my back. Yeah, that's why when you come out early like this, you don't sweat that much because the temperature's cool. Plus the sun is at a different angle now when August comes. That's when my air conditioning broke. It still gets hot in the daytime, even in the winter. You'll be dead in the middle of the winter. It still gets hot in the house. It still gets hot. You still need air conditioning. But if you didn't have one, you probably could tough it through, not so hard. It'd be like New York in the summer. Because a lot of people in New York don't have air conditioning. A lot of them can't afford it. A lot of them are not allowed to have it. Unless they're paying their own separate bills. It's like my spot. My spot had a lot of rooms. Yeah, everybody can't put air conditioning in their room. And I'm paying the bill for it. It'll cost me more money to keep you in there. What kind of business decision would that be? It costs me more just to keep you in there in the summertime. That bill will probably be like $2,000. $1,500 just for the air conditioning in every room. It definitely will be over $2,000. Because it's close to $2,000 just for to burn the gas for the wintertime. So you hear all this bullshit. People is talking about houses and rental properties and all that. You ain't gonna see no money. Ain't no rental property really. You ain't. So I'm telling you all of y'all that. You can look at all that YouTube shit you want. It's bullshit is what it is. Those people are on there selling you guys programs and bullshit. Those guys are selling your programs and bullshit. Those guys are selling your programs and bullshit to get your money. Those guys are selling your program to get your dough. They got me out here acting stupid. I'm out here with my bandana in my hand, flagging cars on. They telling me to go. I don't like stepping in front of somebody. Who fuck knows what could happen? You can get stung by a bee or some shit. or have a seizure and step on that gas, have an epileptic fit, step on the gas. And here I am, just communicating with the person like a split second ago. Next thing you know, I'm ran the fuck over. I can't beat no truck. I might be a tough older dude, but I can't beat no F10 or no Silverado. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, they be trying to sell you all that bullshit. You ain't making no money. Had the property for about 20 years. You can make money in the property, and then you got to depend on the economy with that. Your property can have a shitload of equity today because the bank is what backs all that shit up in loans. You're borrowing money to have a property, right? The fucking house is the bank's. Okay, and if the bank is, if the house is paid for, it's still sitting on the government's property. You got to pay property tax to the government. You're not making any money. I don't care where you live, where you at. The property taxes is low. You're in a low fucking shitty part of town where motherfuckers ain't got no money. It's that simple. You paying high taxes. You got valuable property. That's where all your money's gonna go. You can make some money. They talking about flipping houses, making no money. It's all a game. It's all bullshit. That's what it is. These people that got this world locked down, it's been locked down for thousands of years by the same motherfuckers. Not the presidents and prime ministers and government and all that. Government is just a mouthpiece for these people that has wealth. They got all the good lands and all the so-called shit we deem valuable. Those people is the one that own shit in their minds. As long as we believe that, they will. The government is just a go-between. The government's an act. That's all. And you can't get past them, the government, to get to those oligarchs and those kind of people, because they got the military. They have layers of security. Layers. You're not getting to them. They have layers of security. All the way from the local police. How you doing today? Okay. All right. You got local police, and then you got the sheriff, you got state police, you got the National Guard, you got the military. All of those layers, they wouldn't be able to stop all the people either. Because you'll have people that's in the military that's not going to put their family in danger. And they just can't say, well, we'll protect your family, fuck everybody else. People will figure it out and say, what? What do you mean? Yeah, we'll protect your immediate family if you have any children, kids, or a wife. Anybody else is on their own. Because in all actuality, we all a family. So why not? Why not take care of everybody? Stop playing this fucked up game, being greedy. It's like the game of Monopoly. It's the same thing. Person has all the properties and all the money and all that. Everybody else is basically bankrupt. You sit there, you watch your shit go down the drain, and that's how it goes. That's how life is. It's no other way. And even those people who they let get paid on YouTube and all these other platforms, yeah, they gotta keep hope alive. you know, to keep motherfuckers working and keep motherfuckers hoping and dreaming. Your mind is on that bullshit. You ain't getting shit. Trust me. You're not getting any, you ain't getting shit. How many people have enough money to last in the rest of their life? They don't have to do anything. It's gonna be hard to do. That's why they be doing these drastic moves. Like every 10 years, they shake it up. It's like your job. They shake it up. Have conference calls every week. Or every 2 weeks or every month or some shit. Shake you guys up. Shake your tree. See what falls out. That's all this is, the same thing. People got all their plans on their properties and all this shit and everything. The housing market's about to crash. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to, were you prepared for it? Because if you wasn't prepared for it, you're going to sell your property. Because you ain't got no money. You got to eat. So you're going to sell your house. Even if it's paid for. And you don't have no money in the bank. There's people with houses and things, they don't even have any money in the fucking bank. Fuck you doing with a house and you ain't got no money in the bank? Just for appearances. This motherfucker's riding around in cars that's not even paid for. And they're living in a room somewhere or an apartment. And they're riding around in a car. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have. They're riding around in cars they can't afford. Now that's fucking crazy. But people do it. And it's senseless. Good morning. Yeah, people do it and it's senseless. They do it for appearances. They waste a lot of money. Most of the people you see, these rich people, they was taught not to jerk their money around and stuff. Then they sit around talking about self-made millionaires. Self-made my fucking ass, man. There's somebody with a lot of money that'll just say, hey, we got money for 10 lifetimes. Buy that little white boy out that's made that little program thing. That little program thingy. Get that little bastard, 10 million shit for his little company. So that we can entertain the masses and give them hope. And that's how that shit works. It ain't like somebody was grinding. And they do come up with a story. And that shit's crazy. And they do come up with a story. Literally. They come up with a fucking story. They write it out. I had a friend, well, he got turned jealous and crazy. I had a friend that turned jealous and crazy. Had a friend that turned jealous and crazy because he was working in a junkyard as a dismantler, dismantling cars. And he was a crackhead and all that shit. And then he started selling a little bit of drugs. And he was like a trick to a couple of these nice looking crackhead hoes. It was a couple of them. And they look good. All the time. They kept themselves pretty well. And they was like two lesbos, but they bisexuals too and all that. And he used to hang out with them sometime. They used to help him work, sell his shit and whatever. But that was just all to smoke and get high and all that. It's just, like I said, appearances. He wasn't driving nothing or wearing anything. He just wanted to be known. A little bullshit 2-cent drug dealer so he could get laid by these little crackhead bitches. And Yeah. Well, they said that he was his brother had a lot of records when he was growing up. His brother had a lot of records. Yeah, his brother had a lot of records, like crates of like LPs. His brother like a DJ or something. So what he did was he started making mixes. You know, with the 2 turntables, all that shit. He was making mixes. And Puff Daddy hired him a couple of times to make some mixes for some of his records, you know, for some of his songs, or for some of his upcoming artists or some shit. And they had a whole bullshit story about this guy. And I seen him in the Sunday newspaper, the Daily News in New York. The Sunday newspaper. And I read it. Oh, I seen him. I saw him. I'm not going to mention his name, but he had the same initials as me. What they called him. And they made this big old wonderful glamorous story about this guy. And he was a crackhead bum that worked inside of a junkyard. He had some musical skills. That was like what he could do, what he used to try, and like what he wanted to be, or some shit. And never could. Gave him a chance, because his brother was in music. Seeing his brother on TV too. One of his brothers is a comedian. He's older now. And the other brother's like in the politics or something. And the other brother's in the music. I seen him on this kid show on Channel 2 in New York one day singing. They actually gave me my first dog. Yeah, and his other brother, his big brother, we used to hang out the most. Not the oldest brother, the second oldest. He's a bodyguard. He's a big 400-something pounds, some change, 6'5", 6'4" dude. He bodyguard for Mike Tyson before, like when they come into the fights, and he's keeping the crowd away from him. And he worked. There was another fighter. His name was Michael Olajide. He go out there looking like Michael Jackson, because he was like emulating Michael Jackson's style of dress. With that sequin bullshit on and the glove and the sequins and all that dumb shit. His father used to train him. Michael Olajide was trained by his dad. He was an upcoming so-called prospect that they was trying to push. He couldn't hang. He got smoked. He couldn't hang. Yeah, and just like I told you guys before, where I come from, it was raised at, it's an upper middle class black neighborhood. People like Louis Armstrong, the trumpeter, Willie Mays, the baseball player, lived down the block. My grandmother used to babysit his son. His son was adopted. Willie Mays had no son. Son was adopted. His name was Michael. We grew up together. And he got a sister named Billy. And his mother name was Margarita Mays. Go look that up. Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid, the guy that played for the San Francisco Giants. He played for the New York Giants, and then they moved to the West Coast. And he was the baddest motherfucker in the league for years. That's Barry Bonds' godfather. Yeah. He like mentored Bobby Bonds, Willie Mays. Bobby Bonds was behind Willie Mays. And then Barry Bonds. Then Willie Mays was Barry Bonds' godfather when he was born. And look at what Barry did. You know he fucked around with steroids or whatever. And even next door to me, there was a basketball player. He played for the Knicks. He played for a couple of teams. He played for, he was 6'11". So I grew up with like a 6'11" neighbor. His name was Ray Felix. Raymond Felix. He was like the president of the Rucker tournament. The tournament in New York that everybody plays in that's good. From every white boy to every Spanish cat to every black guy. Those are the proving grounds. Whether you're young or old. Yeah, he was the president of that. Then you had third baseman on the Mets, because Shea Stadium was right there. Actually, Shea Stadium was like practically down the block. I would say a mile. And yeah, Ed Charles, he was the third baseman.